Hello there, I'm Christine Devine. The numbers can be staggering. There are more than 200,000 people in Los Angeles County who are homeless. Thousands more in Orange, San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura counties. On any given night, there may be as many as 82,000 people sleeping in the streets. And anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 of LA County's homeless population are under the age of 18. Half of LA County's homeless are African American. A third are Latino, 14% are white. Recently, Mayor Garcetti declared a state of emergency on the city's homeless situation and has pledged to spend $100 million a year to end homelessness. LA's Skid Row has the largest homeless population in the United States, but there are other homeless encampments that are very small, located in unexpected places. Tony Valdez has a look at one of them.
This is the rarest of the rare, the Harbor Freeway, the 110. It's the only double-decked freeway in Los Angeles. Express toll lanes are on the upper deck. Everybody else drives on the lower level. Sandwiched in between them, not far from USC, is a tiny homeless encampment on the 42nd Street Bridge. The population, according to the people who live here, is 6. More than 300,000 drivers roll by every day, according to Caltrans.
When I first moved over here, man, I couldn't hear myself think. And I still have problems with it, like a big truck come through here and the bounce and the whole place shakes. You think it's an earthquake. Or whether or not, let's say, mind you, the quietest time of the day here is rush hour. You know, yes, because the cars are much slower and you don't hear the motors, none of that, and that's perfect.
Everyone who lives here used to live like the people on the freeway until circumstances put them on the street. Wesley's one of them. He sees to it that there's never any trash in the encampment.
That's how I was brought up. I always be neat. No matter where I'm at, I like to clean up stuff, so I like to be nasty.
You are obviously an educated woman.
Well, I learn every day.
But you're here.
Yes, yeah, I'm still learning. I'm learning how to get up out of here. If I could only learn to get up out these streets and stay put, but the financial thing, the money, that's what gets me. Plus, I have other faults too, so that's what keeps me out here. So,
do you ever look at these cars going by and wonder what those people are like?
Yes. Especially on the freeway. I wonder where they're going, what house they live in, how's their life.
Would you like to trade places with them?
Yeah, honestly.
We could pick one of those cars down there, people who drive by and see all of you up here. What would you want to say to them about your life up here?
Don't look at us, we ain't no different from them. We're just homeless, that's all it is.
In South Los Angeles, Tony Valdez, Fox 11 News.
Joining us to talk more about the homeless crisis in Southern California, the Reverend Andy Bales. He's the CEO of the Union Rescue Mission, and Jerry Jones, who is the Director of Public Policy for the Inner City Law Center, leading a group of 57 Los Angeles homeless providers supporting the mayor's initiative to spend that $100 million to end homelessness. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. You two have spent a lifetime on this cause. We'll start, Andy, we'll start with you. Why do we have this problem growing in Los Angeles?
Well, we have a high cost of rent, and that's huge. People who maybe work 2 jobs, still can't afford rent. And I think there's some issues with the complexity of our society, the trappings, the struggle. I think there's some mental health issues associated with LA, even traffic.
And you're telling me, as your mission, you're seeing women come in who look like they just walked off the job that day, coming in from work.
Absolutely, professionally dressed, carrying the purse. The other day, 15 ladies walked by me. They said, "Hi, Andy." And I'm wondering, how do they know me? And then they proceeded into our guest area, and I realized
they were staying there.
These are our guests.
Okay. You have looked at this with this coalition that's coming together. Is there hope here on the horizon?
Absolutely. Homelessness has a solution. It's housing. We need to bring people inside. That
takes money.
It does take money. The mayor has proposed $100 million a year. That's the minimum we think would make a dent in this problem. The city council is weighing whether or not to spend that kind of money, but we would remind them that their own county, or rather city administrative officer calculated that the police department alone is spending $87 million a year just policing the problem.
Okay, and you're saying LA doesn't even compare to what New York is spending with this 100 million concept.
That's right. New York City spends much more than Los Angeles.
Give me the figure.
It's more than $1 billion a year just on the emergency shelter system.
That's a big difference.
And it makes a huge difference whether you're spending it or whether you're not. If you've been to New York, you don't see the number of folks who are in encampments or living on the sidewalk that you see in Los Angeles.
So what do we need to do here, Andy?
Well, we need to, first of all, change our hearts, and we need to change the way we talk about people experiencing homelessness. These are precious people who happen to be currently experiencing homelessness. When we throw the label homeless on people, we kind of write them off. We need to get rid of some of the myths, like they're from another town.
I was going to say, you were saying it's not just people who are coming here for our great weather and services.
70% of the people counted in the last, I don't even like the word, homeless count, were from LA. They've been here for at least 10 years. And the vast majority of people on Skid Row are from South LA. These are our people. It wouldn't make a difference anyway. We should still help people. But we use that myth as a reason for inaction. And we need to drop the inaction, and we need to pull out all the stops and all hands on deck. And I say an emergency declaration calls for immediate emergency action. And for me, that means tonight we should be working on finding a roof over the heads. I mean, even if it's shelter.
Okay, along those lines, Jerry, both of you so compassionate. What can we do? What can they do watching?
Well, the City Council and the Mayor will respond if they know that they're getting pressure from average voters who want to see this problem dealt with. And we believe that's the case. So your viewers could get involved by, if they have a cell phone, they can text the word housing to 27126, and they will receive updates on the latest twists and turns of this policy debate at City Hall. We are mobilizing an alliance of dozens of agencies who are working on this problem
together on this
to educate our City Council members and the Mayor's staff on the best practices.
Okay.
So it will take people speaking out and saying that in a city with as much going for it as Los Angeles, it's unacceptable to have so many people living and dying on the sidewalks.
Okay, let's talk about this more. We're going to touch on something that's really current, the winter approaching, the homeless facing another challenge, finding that shelter from freezing temperatures. There are many shelters open across LA County. Many homeless won't use them. Susan Hirasoon explains.
Even the dogs in Antelope Valley are dressed for the cold. This is Odin. The short-haired pit bull seems quite comfortable in a Gold's gym tank and scarf. His owner, Brad McGuire, says the dog is the reason he can't go to a homeless shelter. But it's not all bad.
I'm going to panhandle and do what I can. He helps some because there's animal lovers and they don't want to see him out. They'd rather see people outside than animals.
If he raises enough money, he can bed down in a motel. We also met Andrea Goodwin, pushing her life in a baby stroller.
Toothpastes, you know, cosmetics. This is how I survive out here.
She used to go to a shelter, but didn't like the people she typically encountered there.
Just don't like just street bums and people, the low-life dope fiends, and people that are just throwing their life away.
So she'll find a spot against an abandoned business and survive the cold the best she can.
I'm gonna wrap up. I got 3 covers. I have 3 covers and I have this coat that I bought.
At the Lancaster Community Shelter, they cleared out a storage room to make more space for those who aren't as able to endure the cold.
We have 5 in here today, but this room could hold up to 20, so we still would have 15 spots if people showed up tonight and wanted to get in out of the cold. We would still be able to accommodate that.
People like Martin Freedman, an Army vet on Veterans Day, who decided he'd rather have a stiff cot than cold concrete. But Martin is unusual. Shelters like this one get few veterans, especially those suffering from PTSD.
They have that, and they can't get around. They can't be around a lot of people.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And they don't want to feel confined.
When we return, a plan to build a shelter for the homeless meets resistance. Why some people are saying, not in our neighborhood. Plus, see how people at a homeless encampment managed to outsmart police and keep their possessions.